Hey everybody, welcome to Fit Tip Tuesday. I want to apologize for not coming on Friday for FabFit Friday. I really look forward to that every week. It's one of my highlights to get on with you guys and share what I'm working on. But I woke up with a little bit of a sciatic nerve pain that cropped up, probably because of the way I slept. So I really spent the whole weekend convalescing, and I'm happy to say I do feel much better. And I think I'm going to be okay. I think I'm going to make it. So, yay. A couple weeks ago, I did a video sharing the differences between a low butt and a flat butt and some combinations of those things. And one of my subscribers asked if they could see full butt crotch shapes as well. So I thought what I would do is just review the low and flat butt shapes. And today I also added the front crotch pattern piece so I can show you how the front crotch curve changes depending on these different shapes. And then I'm going to show you a prominent butt shape. And in doing that, I'm also going to show you the differences between, if you have a prominent full butt, but you have slender legs, or if you have a prominent full butt, but you also have prominent inner thighs. So it's really important to consider your legs, the shapes of your legs, when you're adjusting your crotch shapes for these things. So let's start with this one. This is a flat butt. And the reason why I can easily identify this as a flat butt, I'm just going to draw myself a crotch level line on here so you can see. Okay, so a flat butt has a crotch curve where the back of the crotch curve is not below crotch level, and that's where the tip of the back crotch wedge is. But you'll notice that if I draw a line vertically showing the approximate amount of curve there is, you can see it's a very short crotch extension. Okay, so if you have a flat butt, your crotch curve is going to be very short here. And if I add in the front leg pattern piece, what I want to show you is the way you can tell if your front crotch curve is agreeing with what you did to the back is by lining it up along your inseams. And you want to make sure you have a smooth front to back transition. So you can see here, I'm just going to draw it in green, this green area that I have here. You can see front to back, it doesn't peak up. You've got a nice smooth front to back shape. So what you're looking for in the front when you have a flat butt is a curve that kind of comes in and it's approximating horizontal. Okay, so it's not pointing down, it's kind of coming in on a horizontal direction. So again, if I put these two things together, you can see that that is a nice front to back transition. And you can also see you have a narrow base to your crotch curve. And if you have a flat butt, then you don't need a lot of horizontal space because you won't fill it out. If you have too much, you won't fill it out. So this is this is our low butt. Going to label it for us, and I'll just call this LB for low butt. All right, so that's our low butt. The flat butt, I'm going to draw my crotch level here, and you're going to see that the curve is below crotch level, and depending on how low your butt is, it could get lower than that. All right, so that's what a low butt looks like, and look at how straight this front crotch curve is. When you have a low butt, you can see that at the back crotch wedge, the crotch is angling down right from the tip of your crotch. So you need to have a relatively straight front so you again end up with a smooth transition front to back. So I'm going to make that green so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see that's pretty smooth front to back. And the front in this case looks like it's angling down to reach for the back. And that's what you need because the general curve of the back is going in that down direction. All right, now just for ha-has, let's put the flat butt front crotch on here, and I just want to show you what you don't want to happen. See how when I line these up, we're getting more of a peak. It's not a smooth transition front to back. Okay, so that's going to indicate that you need to straighten that out. So it looks more like this. Okay. So this would be our, okay, so this would be our low butt. I'm just going to label it low butt. LB for low butt. I also did a set for a prominent butt or a full butt. Okay, so this is what a prominent butt looks like. And the first thing that you're going to see here is I'm going to just draw my crotch level again. Okay, and you can see in this case there's not a lot of distance between the base of the crotch curve and crotch level, and depending on how full your butt is, this crotch curve may actually be flat and run along that, you know, crotch level line until it comes up. And then let's compare and look at how the shape of the front. So again, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to line up my inseams. Okay, so you can see I'm getting that nice smooth transition front to back. Okay, I'm just going to paint it green so you can see. And look at how wide of a space that's creating. Okay, so if you have a prominent butt, you're going to need more horizontal space to sit in. Now here is where adjusting your pants pattern for a full butt can go one of two ways. And the first thing I want to explain is if you have a full butt and you know you need more room to sit and more room to be comfortable, one option is to extend the crotch point. So you could, you know, extend it and, you know, but then you have to blend back in like this. Okay, and you can see what you're doing here is you're adding to the length of the crotch to make more room. But what happens if you measure your upper thigh and it already agrees with the pattern? Adding here is going to just make too much looseness around, you know, your upper thigh area, and it's going to cause wrinkles that are going to be hard to get rid of because what you've done is you've created room to sit, but you've also added a lot of extra fabric along your inseam. Okay, so one way is to extend that. So if you have a prominent inner thigh, and so the upper thigh of your pants pattern is snug, this is the perfect thing to do. And depending on your shape, you may want to also extend the front a little bit as well. Okay, so you kind of want to look at where your inseam is sitting, and if it's too far forward, or if you feel like it's going to become too far forward, if you just add to the back, you can split it up and add it to the front and back, and that will prevent the inseam from coming too far forward. So let me just show you here. I'm going to move these out of the way. And I have sort of a standard back leg here. This is the sequence of events that you're going to want to do when you're adjusting your pattern for a full butt. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to mark some seam allowances here. And they're not accurate 1/2 inch, but I just want to get to, you know, where that is. And I'm going to make one over here too. Okay, those are my seam allowances. You want to measure about an inch below your seam line, or from the edge of the pattern, you know, 1.5 inches, or between 1.5 inches and 2 inches from the crotch curve. So I'm just going to make a dot here that's approximately, I'm going to do 1 inch below. And you're going to want to draw yourself a line. And notice I'm just drawing it between, you know, within my seam allowances. And then let's say that this was my front. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to draw my, my little seam allowances. So I'll measure down and I'll draw that. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to measure your front and back upper thigh measurement and then compare it to your measurement. Now you're going to need 1 inch to 2 inches of ease depending on your size. You don't want the upper thigh measurement to be your exact body measurement, but you don't want it to be 3 and 4 inches bigger than your thigh measurement either, unless you're making a trouser or looser fitting pant. So measure your upper thigh, compare it to your upper thigh so you can see where you are. Now, if you have a pants pattern that already agrees with your thigh measurement, but you need more horizontal space, what you're going to do, instead of extending this out, you're going to pull this back. So I'm going to just come back here and I'm going to redraw my crotch curve out this way. Now in doing that, I'm also getting rid of this width in the pattern. So again, you want to maybe measure your full hip and see if this area already fits you, because if it does, then you're going to need to also add over here. Okay, and the important thing is when you're doing this adjustment, I'm going to draw myself another line. Okay, you want to keep the side seam adjustment sort of similar to where you let it out. So you'll notice here, if I extend my side seam out, basically what I'm doing is I'm pushing the top part of the pants towards the side seam. Okay, so if you have a hard time drawing or redrawing or reshaping your side seam, another thing that you can do to get this exact adjustment, let me show you on a different one because this is getting kind of messy here. All right, so let me cut this off. I'm just going to cut off my, what I did to it before just to keep it easy. Okay, so let's say we need more horizontal room, but the thigh already matches our upper thigh. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, along my vertical grain line, okay, I'm going to measure how much I want to add to my horizontal space. And when I'm talking about horizontal space, I'm really talking about this part here in the grain. Okay, so if this is too short because you need more room for a full butt, what you're going to do is you're going to decide how much you want to move it. So let's say, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, whatever it is, mark that on the crotch level line. And then I'm going to just draw a guideline that I'm going to use to, let me use a different color here so it looks, okay. So you're going to draw a slash line, and the slash line needs to be right at the bottom of the straight part of your crotch. Okay, so that's approximately where that is. I have my 1/2 inch mark here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top of the pattern right off, and I'm going to slide it over so that the grain line lines up with the guideline that I drew to add more space. Okay, so basically I'm doing the same thing. I'm pushing the top part of the pattern this way. Okay, so now if we compare, okay, you can see in these two examples, I basically am doing the same thing. Here I just drew it, and here I just slit it. Okay, so you can see now, to true this up, I'm going to connect this new position of the straight right into the base of my crotch curve like this. Okay, and then over here, I'm going to just start down at the bottom, and I'm just going to gradually connect these like this. Okay, so these two things are giving us a very similar adjustment. Okay, so we did not add anything or change the measurement to the top of the pattern here. We just slid it over, and then we're just going to, you know, blend that back in, blend this in, and you can see we have a very similar shape. And I think for fun, what I'm going to do is let me cut this out, and let's lay them on top of each other and see how similar they are. Okay. I'm just going to cut this one out, and then I'll lay it on top of that one, and we'll see how well it matches. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to lay this right on top here. Okay, so you can see that is virtually identical. Okay, because you can see what I slid off, and you can see the new dashed in shape here. Very, very similar. So depending on your comfort level when it comes to reshaping your side seam and redrawing your, you know, your crotch, you can either draw it or you can cut and slide. But in either case, you can see we end up with a very, very similar shape. Okay. All right, so that's how you can adjust your pants pattern for a full butt when you can't add any more to the upper thigh by extending the crotch point out. So just to finish up this little demonstration, so let me just match these up again so you can see we have a nice transition front to back, and we have more horizontal space to sit in. If you have any questions or comments about this, please post them below and I will help you. I hope seeing the various shapes of the crotch curves front and back helped you, so you can see how to adjust your pattern. Certainly, if you're sitting here wondering, wow, do I have a full butt or a prominent butt? The best way to tell whether you have a full butt or a prominent butt is really to check your side view. Okay, you can tell a lot of things about the shape of your behind if you're looking from the side, because you can see the silhouette of it. Okay, so if anybody has, you know, questions or comments about determining which shape they are, please post those below and I will help you. You can also email me pictures at, you know, jsterndesigns37@gmail, and I'll help you with that. But basically, I just wanted to sort of round out this crotch curve shapes for different shape figures to help you in your pants fitting. And I think I'll take this opportunity to tell you, if you want to start the new year off with a really fun pants fitting class, I am teaching my Happy Pants non-stretch pants fitting class for Mart fabric. It starts on the 16th of January. It's 2 Sundays in a row from 3 to 5. And during the week between the two classes, you'll have the opportunity to have a private fitting with me so we can focus on your fitting challenges. I'm really excited about this class, and people are already registering. So if you're interested in this, I have the link below the video. So don't wait, because I think it's going to fill up, and I'm super excited about that because pants fitting is my favorite thing to teach. So I hope you enjoyed this little fit tip. I will be with you on Friday for FabFit Friday, and I can show you, I'll just show you here, I did start working on my non-stretch cover for my ditto form. You can see it's pretty shiny. I'm using a flannel back satin because I wanted it to be slippery, because I'm built like a linebacker, and if I want to put things over its head, I thought if I have slippery fabric on the ditto form, that's going to help me get things on and off. So I've decided to create an empire waist seam in my cover, and then I'm going to cover the rest down to the full hip line. So I'll be sharing that with you on Friday, plus some other things. So join me Friday for FabFit Friday live at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then on Sunday, if you are into machine embroidery, And if you have the Brother PRS 100, I'm going to be showing how to use the Based in the Hoop feature on the Brother PRS 100 on Sunday. So I hope you guys join me for those fun videos. And, well, Sunday is a video, Friday we're live. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching.